Okay, hello. Hopefully no work. Okay. You guys have been so awesome. I have grown so much here recently. It's like, I know I only have like 42, 43 subscribers at the moment, but I had like none, so for me that's a lot. First of all, I have some like disturbing news. This first video, Wagon Tinking on a Date Automatic, it's done super well, but YouTube's being YouTube and put an ad in front of it. I can't be monetized yet because I'm so little. And I'm just like, okay, so you're getting free money off of my work. And the chances of me being monetized anytime soon is not even funny. I mean, I'm fully aware of how small I am. You can look. There I am. I am grateful and thankful for everyone who continues to support me, but I am like the smallest bean, okay? Don't pick on me. Like, for real, YouTube, go harass and put some ads on some other people's stuff. I wouldn't mind as much if I could be monetized and paid for it, but that's like one of the ones, like, okay, I might monetize something that was shorter than a minute long, but if I had the power over it, I wouldn't put an ad on it. Only because I feel like if it's under like 5 minutes, let's say, I wouldn't put a freaking ad on it because I feel like that's freaking annoying as a watcher. And I would want to be more like the money would be nice, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to be annoying as all hell to like my people. I'm sorry, I'm like kind of outraged about it. So, tell your friends and stuff to come subscribe to me, and maybe I might can get monetized sooner, and I won't be as mad about it. And I was like scared that I had been copyright struck or something, even though I came up with the all the drawings and did all the hard work and stuff, did all the voices and everything. The characters weren't mine, but I claimed it as like fan art or whatever. And it's not even particularly good fan art. I could probably do better now. But because it was done over 6 months ago. Like, I don't know, it's just, and then I looked it up, and apparently YouTube has changed their ruling or whatever that whether a person, no matter their size, they can add a commercial to it, and they can collect money and stuff off of your work, whether you're monetized or whatever, and happen to be monetized, get like a certain portion of that if you're like actually a part of that program. So I'm not reaping any of the benefits other than a handful of subscribers that it has gained me. It doesn't give me any money whatsoever, and YouTube gets to roll in it. Now, it may only be like, I don't know, $5 a day or something, or $5 every week or something. I don't know. But whatever it is, they get to roll in it. Well, I think I spent a week maybe making that video at part-time probably, because I have a for real full-time job doing other stuff other than art, even though I would love to freaking be a full-time artist. But in my area, it's just not a possibility for me at the moment, and I don't get enough commissions to help support that. And I'm not so something about getting Patreon and stuff, because I am, again, a small bean. I don't think I would have the support to do it. And it sounds nice, but I'm realistic. I'm not gonna be the stupid girl from TikTok or whatever the heck it is. I think it was Twitch who went like, you don't have $5 to support me, or whatever the hell she said. I'm not gonna be that person, because I'm grateful for just the support. The, the interactions. Money would be nice, but that's not why I'm mad at this. I'm mad that they're collecting on my hard work. Oh, you could argue, oh, they're making the support team or whatever. Did they draw that? No. And they're probably doing it to other people. But I am like a super mega small bean. That video just happened to take off. I'm like, wow, the crazy, but wow. I'm grateful for it, but it doesn't, at the moment, it doesn't do me much good. I'm sorry, I'm just really... I wonder how many other small people that they're taking advantage of. I hope you're all doing better than I am. It makes me sick, okay? Like, I feel very used. Like, push the rest of my content, YouTube. Maybe people will stay around a while. It's just a stupid on Mac. I decided that was funny, and at some point I want to make some more, although that discourages me too. I'll work very hard at my craft. I'm sure everyone else in the entire universe does too. Drawing and arts and crafts is my safe space, and I would like to have the control over what has commercials on it and what doesn't, at the very least. And I wouldn't mind as much as if a portion of that whatsoever, but because I'm not a part of the program, because I'm such a small bean. Again, I have 43 subscribers, and I am very grateful for them. Thank you so very much if you're among them, and if you're not, please help out and help me grow. But that's not... I'm such a small bean. I'm a small, itty-bitty, insignificant bean. I'm probably not going to get monetized best outlook for another year, 2 years, no matter how much I push my content. because it's like 1,000 subscribers, I think. That's so far away from me right now. I'm not even 100. So, a year or two from now, YouTube is going to still be ranking in that money from that simple on Mac that I put hard work into, and my heart and my humor into, and I still might potentially not be monetized, and I may never ever see a cent of it at all, period. I don't see how that's fair, and I feel very violated. The fact I have no power whatsoever to do anything about it. Again, I am mega small being yelling out into the void. I am very fortunate to have a couple handfuls of people who enjoy my content. I'm very fortunate to have a family who loves and supports me. I'm very fortunate to have friends who love and support me. And I am very grateful for all that. But I'm fully aware that I'm not the only one out in the universe. I don't claim to be. I don't claim to be more important than anybody else. But art, again, is my safe place. It's my comfort tool. It's my therapy session. It's my... I'm sure some of you may have seen the video where I talk about how I was bullied when I was a kid, and how art was my coping mechanism for my disabilities that I have and had in terms of learning stuff. And it's my... I can't even put it into words. It's, to me, my art. At least when I'm putting my everything in it. I'm not saying I do that every single freaking time I draw. Sometimes I just doodle and stuff comes out onto the page. But most of the time, that was a friend of mine. I'll call her back maybe. To get this off of my chest. Most of the time, I bear my heart, my soul onto the canvas, onto the iPad. At least 90% of the time. Now, I'm not saying that I did that necessarily for the automatic that I did that's gotten views and YouTube some money. But I did make it to cheer myself up because I was feeling down that day. So I was still using it as a coping mechanism. Six months ago, I was in such a depressive state, I could hardly draw. I still have a hard time sometimes. drawing an art is where I can be myself. And I know other people probably say that. And but it's true. I put my hopes, my dreams, I very rarely put my nightmares out onto the canvas. Every now and again I do. But to me, it says a lot when you can't even control your own content. And like I said, I feel very used and violated. If I had monetization and I was getting a little bit from it too, I wouldn't feel as something about it. But I'm not getting anything other than the likes and the stuff. And don't get me wrong, I'm very, 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 very grateful for that. But it's not. Crap it, I forgot the. But I'm very. I'm so angry about it. I can't get this. What I'm doing. I'm trying to make it look ethereal. And I may just have to do it the hard way, but I had hoped to make my life a little bit easier and do it this way. Oh, thank you. Hug M. Cool. This is my OC. And I'm sorry to go on a tirade about how I don't like what YouTube's doing to particularly smaller channels such as myself. Like I said, I have a minute itty bitty following. My largest following is on DeviantArt, and I may just have to do this the hard way, even though I had hoped not to. Freaking yeah. Maybe I could make this the reference layer. How do I do that again? Reference. Okay. No, that's not what I want. But it really irritates me that they're doing that for no particular reason. And it really pisses me off. It encourages me to quit, honestly. It gave me that thought. And I can't take it off. So YouTube is getting free money off an itty bitty thing, such as myself. Who knows how many, they started putting it on when it was at 3,000 views, I think. It's now up to past 4,000 views. Someone do the math who knows more about YouTube money than I do, because I guess I could Google it. It doesn't matter anymore. I need to stop being angry about it and upset about it and just move on. Eventually, someday, hopefully, I'll get monetization and then I won't be so mad about it. But in the meantime, I can be mad if I wanna. Anyway. Has anyone ever had any experiences like that with YouTube? I want to know. It just, particularly with, oh, thank you. Looks like an epic mellow meow. Epic meow. I'm gonna, make it, I'm trying to make it look like a Super Saiyan type hair, but have, stars in it or whatever. I don't know what I'm doing. I just like to draw. This is my OC, by the way. She's a magical girl. I feel like that needs to be a part of a t-shirt now. Hug him. Kara looks like an epic meow. My friend Jug the Reaper, she has a new OC who has she's really into the creepy pasta-y type stuff is the best explanation for it. Quite dark, gothic child, I guess is the best way to describe her. But she has this new OC. I forget what she calls him, or if she even has a name for him yet. But anyway, he has this hair, and she draws her hair really fanciful. Oh, hell yeah. Each and every Indril having a mind of its own. Every strand of hair 100. But after a split hair, multiple warrior ever cuts hair. Supreme power meow. Huh. I don't know if that's to a reference or something. I am not that cool. I'm sorry. Hug him. It sounds cool though. Something from Warrior Cats or something. Oh, there's a story in the Bible, I think it is, about Samus and his hair. And he wasn't supposed to cut it, and his wife cut it, and then he, died or whatever. I'm not a Bible expert. Her hair won't be this yellow, by the way. I'm gonna color it. It'll probably have some colors of this yellow in it, but it'll be also purple and blue, and hopefully we'll have some of her natural tone. I don't know. Like I said, I like to draw, I just don't know necessarily. I don't necessarily make good decisions. But anyway, her Drug the Reaper's OC, he has like really pretty hair. She draws her hair really nicely anyway. It's megally detailed. And it like looks so soft, like you can touch it. And she drew this new OC, and his hair is really long and luxurious and stuff, and I was like, he needs to be a part of a hair commercial. Meanwhile, on his chest, half of his organs are showing or whatever. And she's like, okay, Jillian. I'm like, he at least needs to have a t-shirt where he says he's fabulous or whatever. I should call back my friend. I at least wanted to get the YouTube drama off of my chest. Nerd. I don't know of that, oh Lord. JMB Studios, voice of Sailor Moon / there is no right or wrong way of making art, meow. That's true. Oh, I don't know about that, actually. I used to work at, well, not really work, but volunteer at a local museum. One time they shared a statue of Jesus, which is all well and good, but the Jesus was made out of this material that was covered in human urine. And that thing, they did technically treat it, but it was like the grossest smell on the right day. And it's just like, oh my God, why would you let this exist? When they were like basically saying that the beauty of God is in everything or some, I don't know. I'm not an art expert by any means. And then there was this other time where I swear upon the good Lord that they had a freaking crashed can on freaking display. Like, I liked volunteering there because more or less be my little inverted self and just like sit there and draw and take money from what little people came in, because it was paid admissions most days. Not like much because it was like state funded or whatever, but there was a little bit of a admission fee. And I was just like, I got flirted with a lot down there by old men. Evil, hold on, evil it must have been to work for Kronos, the beauty of every smell is questionable. Meow. It was gross, okay? Even if they had treated it better, just the idea. Because back in the Middle Ages and the Renaissance and till fairly recently, like even the Victorian era and stuff, like if you watch the historical people who do more historical stories or whatever, they talk about urine being used as like to dye fabrics, and I just no. Modern art is garbage. For insurance, I have seen a banana attached to a wall in London. For instance, I have seen, rather, from the internet, and a man, thinking that it was a joke, took it off and ate it. It was worth millions. Crazy. Now. Oh my god. I heard about that, actually. There's a museum where literally it's a freaking canvas and it's painted white. It's worth quite a lot of money. I think it's in Germany, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not saying all modern art is trash, but a good portion of it is. By the way, if you're interested, there's like some art stories somewhere on my YouTube channel. And I talk a bit about this painting class that I took in college. And basically, she was a very modernistic type. Abstract thinker, and I just cannot think that way. I'm sorry. I can to a certain extent. I do some abstract stuff, but it's rare. It's rare. I just can't. My brain, it doesn't work that way. And I didn't disagree with her or anything. My brain couldn't function that way, and I'm sorry. And I'm not blaming her necessarily. I'm blaming my own stupid self. Of Snowpiercer, by the way, it's so good. I want to see more. They cut off a good part, and I'm like, I'll have to wait a week for it. I promise the hair will make sense when I get done. It just will take me 10,000 years. Because, like, I couldn't do my cheat that I had in mind. So now I have to do a different cheat. I guess this technically could be considered still a cheat. Meow. You're so loud. That's my cat, Samantha. She's a wild critter. You want treats here in a minute? You want to go fetch them? Don't give me that look. You've done it before. My cousin worked on the set of the Snowpiercer. Have you seen the movie? Meow. No, I have not. I heard the movie's good, though. There's also an older movie, like from the 1950s, 60s maybe, like, it was originally a comic series, sort of similar to The Walking Dead, but I think it's much older. And it may have also been based on a book, I think. I don't know. Not a huge, like, knowledgeable person over that sort of thing. Sometimes if I like a movie or a show and it's based on a medium, I'll like actually try and find it, like the original. Let's see. I don't know if you've heard of this series called Del Toro Quest. It's a anime. It was like on the Hub and stuff. I'm aging myself. But it was on the Hub and a couple of other channels. And anyway, yeah. I liked it so much I noticed it was based on a book series by Emily Rada. And oh my god, the books were so much better. Like, I still love the anime, it's very good, but the books continue. Now, Shadowlands, it was okay. I didn't like the Examaka ending, not trying to give it to those who are interested in reading it. And Del Toro Dragons just, oh my god, yes. It hit the aesthetic so hard. She has another companion series out now for it called something. I don't remember now, but I gotta look it up at some point and buy it. I love her stuff, or at least what stuff I've read, for the Del Toro stuff. The Del Toro Quest is like 7 volumes long, but they're little. They're like the 3rd grade reading chapter book type deals, where technically speaking it's multiple chapters, but it's like maybe 100 pages long for each little book, roughly. Like, they're thin. And then, what was that one I was really disappointed in? Oh, How to Train Your Dragon is technically based on a book series. It is one of the very few times that I will say the movie was a heck of a lot better. The movie basically, I'm going to guess it took the story elements from several different books, because again, it was I only read the first one. That's how much I didn't like it. Like, if it had been decent at all, I would have read more than one. But the first one was so bad that and if you like that series, you go for it. I don't care. I'm very picky about my books, so for me, it just didn't tickle those, that feather or that spot for me. And like a lot of books, I'm like that. Anyway, Dragon, How to Train Your Dragons. The first movie, I think it combined a couple of different of the books. And that's all well and good, but I felt like the book was very slow. And it wasn't as compelling. I've read parts of Doom. I have seen a few of the adaptations. My brother's a huge fan of Doom. I'm much more of a young, like a young YTH type person when I'm reading stuff. I'm an adult, but I enjoy the young adult genre. And I tend to favor fantasy stuff, like pure, unadulterated, not ashamed of itself fantasy. Dragons, princesses, you name it. Narnia. Yes, I have read Narnia. My favorite is The Witch in the Wardrobe. I don't feel like I don't like the ending of Narnia's books, but I get it. It's like supposed to be an analogy for the Bible or whatever. Fun fact, C.S. Lewis and Tolkien were friends, and Tolkien's the one who led to Jesus. So Christians, or the truly people who are against wizards or whatever, I hate to tell you, but Tolkien was among you, and he wrote about wizards, and he encouraged one of your approved reading authors to write the approved reading book. I just find that really ironic. You want a treat? Hold on a minute. Let me get her some treats. Here. I don't know if you can hear her meow. Meow. Here. You have food. You better eat your real cat food too, ma'am. But I'm very picky. Oh, me and a friend wrote a fanfic for Narnia one time. We rewrote it to a certain extent. I don't necessarily encourage that it was good, but it was funny. The silver chair is a great one in every beginning of the book. They're with the tree. Meow. Oh, okay. I don't really remember the silver chair. I remember it not involving Peter, Lucy, or Edmund. I really liked them, and I know that's not necessarily the point. I particularly liked Peter. Let me plug y'all in. As a young person, young enough to, let me make sure, yeah, you're plugged in. Young enough to be appropriate, I had a crush on Peter. And, I decided it was stupid how it ended. And like I said, a friend and I kind of rewrote part of Narnia as a fan fiction and a role play. Okay, basically I created this character. It was totally Mary Sue. I fully acknowledge that that's what she was. And she was Aslan's daughter she was somehow related to the professor as well. And there was another species called the elves, Tolkien's elves, running around, and she was raised more or less by them because she had so much of Narnia's magic running through her veins that she couldn't be trusted to run around in Narnia or in the real world on Earth. So she and the elves had longer lifespans because they were still connected to Earth, their mother, or whatever. I don't know. It was stupid. Makes sense, but when I was that young, I am more interested in the world, etc. I could see how we could make into one meow. I don't know. I'm not saying it was any good. This, idea my friend and I did. But, yeah. Peter and her ended up marrying. And, they had known each other from, a young age. Because apparently whenever Peter was young, there was a pathway near his house. I don't know, it made sense at the time. We also wrote a fan fiction on Wizard of Oz. If you haven't read that book or that series, it's very good, by the way. Hi, King of Narnia. Rolling over the land, they became old and forgot about the wardrobe. Days and nights would lead to another epic battle. Fair maidens hearing of his great deeds. Meow. Yeah, basically they forgot, Faith was allowed to age with Peter, whatever ages he was, she was about his age anyway, naturally. And she was allowed to age with him, and she more or less forgot too. And so they were married by the time, at least in the fan fiction. I was young, okay? They forgot that they married when they were about 18, 17. And they spent a whole for real Earth year in the wardrobe storyline. I guess to me that made it okay. But they spent a lifetime and more or less together, and they were heartbroken when they got separated or whatever. But that was part of Aslan's test. I don't know. I felt it was stupid of C.S. Lewis to talk about some of the lessons that the Bible talked about without necessarily including some of the lessons about marriage and love and kindness and stuff, and so that's why we included it mostly. Again, it clearly a Mary Sue, clearly a self-insert, clearly not well thought out, but we had fun with it, and that's all that really mattered. So she was afraid that she was related to the White Witch at one point because she didn't know her biological parents. And she had magic and stuff, so. And she had non-pointed ears, so she knew she was potentially a daughter of Eve. basically. Oh, and the elves had a foremother as well, and okay, we thought this was funny. We called the foremother of the elves sort of like Eve. She was the Autumn, and the father of the elves was Steve. So it was literally we were stupid. I'm not necessarily encouraging this. Perhaps as the four turned back through the wardrobe, High King Peter with his love hands back part she has thrown into another world, but on earth starting a new life. Somehow they connect with each other once more. Well, basically, okay, we kind of did do that. Basically, in the fan fiction, they spend a year or so apart until they get back to Narnia in Prince Caspian. We decided basically that she would help him out, and that the bad king, I can't remember his name right now, but the bad king, whenever he saw Faith, because she went with to go talk to him as a messenger, he had his eyes set on her, basically, because she is very beautiful and stuff. And he had heard the rumor. Now, at this point in the story, they knew she was Aslan's daughter, basically, for all tenses and purposes. And he was like, oh, so this is the great Aslan's daughter. I thought she would be half lion or whatever. And he basically hits on this basically teenage girl to make him even more creeper. And she has enough power in her and whatever to, like, she could probably kill him if she wanted to, even though she's kind of sick at this point in the story. Basically, we made it to where the Tamarins had been, polluting the Narnia and stuff, and that's one reason why the trees and the animals had to talk anymore. The spirits, withered or receded back into themselves. And so, anyway, so she, as being part of Narnia, feels sick and ill and weak from being exposed to that, even for a short amount of time, which is one reason why she can't live necessarily full-time on Earth. And she can go back and forth at some point to visit her blood family, being the professor and his wife. And she actually has a few other siblings, but they're not quote-unquote godly per se. They don't have her powers and stuff. She basically had all the same Aslan-y powers, diminished, or they were a little bit, she could grow trees and stuff more quickly than even the elves. The elves had some magic to them too, but not as much. And in the end, when the Pevensies do go back to Earth, Aslan makes a bridge specifically for Faith and Peter to use to be able to go back and forth, because she cannot live permanently on Earth. She's just too pure good or whatever. I don't know. We had an excuse. And he didn't necessarily... And basically they were advisors to Caspian. And that's what they did, mostly. They ended up having a couple of kids in the storyline, like, when they were older and stuff. And then rather than, like, killing them at, like, the train station or whatever, basically they were allowed just to stay in Narnia full-time after that. Epic story / love the idea with the drawing. Your wealth of knowledge. Farewell, and I have been your friendly neighbor, Nico, at the window. Meow. Okay. Bye. Your cat picture looks like very similar to my cat, except she's like just pure black and white. Yeah, this is a totally different drawing, by the way, than the story I'm talking about. At some point, I need to talk about the Magnificent Maiden film videos, but it's been a long time. She's my magical girl. All my freaking OCs are magical girls because I can't have an original idea. Thank you for coming, though. I really do appreciate it. I enjoy the company. Oh, thank you! I appreciate it. I really do. I may call my friend here in a minute. She may have gone on to bed. We do a lot of stories together. Like, we just role play with them sometimes just for kicks and giggles. At some point, I may try and convince her to be on the phone with me while doing it. And drawing on here. But I have a feeling if we did that, we would get so sidetracked, it wouldn't be even funny. We thought about writing a few of our ideas down, like the one I think would make a really good book by itself, sort of like Wicked. I don't know why Wicked decided to make the wizard the bad guy. It just doesn't make sense. I mean, it kind of does. He was a con man. But I don't know if that necessarily translates to, you know, advancing on a woman forcibly. I don't think Frank, L. Frank, I think. L.B. Frank, maybe. The guy who wrote Wizard of Oz. I don't think that was his freaking... But what do I know? By the way, the story of Oz was a lot darker than the movie made it out to be. Maybe not quite as date rapey as the freaking thing wanted it to be, but pretty bad. Oh, he wrote other books, and I would highly recommend them. I particularly like the one about Santa Claus. They actually made a movie out of it. The stop motion people. This hair is taking forever. Oh my god. It's gonna kill me. Because this isn't only the first layer of doing this. Oh my god. This is probably not the easiest way I could have done this, by the way. But it was the best way I could think of doing it. Oh, dang it. Lord. See, I made myself difficult, or made my life more difficult by making swirls and stuff in the hair. And so now I have to kind of follow that same sort of pattern. I mean, hopefully I'm gonna turn this, duplicate it, and just... Oh, tomorrow I'm getting my oil changed. Ugh. I wouldn't normally mind it too much, other than the fact that I asked my dad to take me. Normally I wouldn't do that, but with the pandemic going on, I don't want to be in a freaking waiting room. It's not like I can be like, okay guys, one of you need to come with me so I can go to Hobby Lobby or whatever while y'all work on my car. And they won't give me a rental necessarily while they're doing a simple oil change. Not for free at any rate. I guess I could call an Uber, but freaking germs again. Like, y'all don't even know. I've been trying to avoid the grocery freaking store, let alone anything else. And the only reason I'm going to Hobby Lobby is because it's fairly close to the car oil changey place. And I'm right there. And I don't necessarily want to go all the way back home for... Usually they do my oil change in about an hour to 30 minutes, depending on what's going on. And during the fall or spring, whenever I had it changed the last time, it was still warm enough where I live, that I was able to take a beach towel and sit outside while they did it. Like out in the middle of grass where no one could get near me. And I got so many compliments from random strangers. Like, oh, not necessarily to my face, but where I overheard them like, oh, we should have done that, or that's a good idea. And a few of them did tell me in person, like me, myself, they were like, oh my god, that's, like, why didn't I think of that? Like, they were trying to, it's not like the car place wasn't trying to be sociable distancey, but it's a small little weight room and stuff. So it's not like they can manufacture more seating, and I felt like the benches that they had outside, or potentially would have outside, would be less comfortable than sitting out in the sun getting a little bit of sunshine. Freaking. This part of her hair would probably be brown anyway. I mean, you're not gonna see most of this anyway, so I guess it doesn't have to be perfect. Let me finish up what I'm doing with the hair and go on to bed. Because I'm so emotionally exhausted. The way I'm doing her hair kind of reminds me of Tangled. I'm almost done with this part. Oh, has anyone seen the trailer for the Cruella de Vil movie or whatever the heck? Because it is like, oh my god. It doesn't, the sad thing is, it doesn't look like it's badly made. I'm not saying I want to watch it. Can't y'all leave well enough alone? The woman wanted to kill puppies. She doesn't need to be a sympathetic villain. That's not why people like your villains. Okay. This layer. No. This layer needs to be, I think, like that. Okay. This layer I want to make blue toned, I think. No. Yeah. No, not true blue, I think. I have a rhyme and a reason, maybe not much of one, but I have a rhyme and a reason. And this one, we're gonna make pastel too. And this one needs to be a hair's breadth brighter. Hair's breadth lower. Very good. Yes, I like it very much. Okay, we're gonna do another layer on top. It'll make sense eventually, I promise. I'm doing the magic. I'm not sure if I want her stars in her hair to look like gold. I have an idea and I don't necessarily know. No. I have an idea. I don't necessarily know how to execute it. Nope. I guess I could do this instead. I think maybe. I don't know if that makes her hair look too busy or if it's just the right of... I may leave it more or less for right this second and visit it again. For right now, I'm leaning towards it. Necessarily mean that I'll stick to it. It just means I'm leaning. I have too many freaking... It's not what I want. I have too many freaking brushes. It's not even funny. Most of them I gotten for free, just randomly finding them. the heck I did that for. Alright, folks, I think I'm gonna go on to bed. I'm falling asleep on you. Remember to like, subscribe, and all that jazz, and I do apologize for my little bit of a rant earlier. It just, like I said, it just really irritates me that YouTube is doing that to people. I wasn't even notified of it. Like, what the freaking... Anyway, bye. Remember to like and subscribe and share my content. It really does help me out. Hope you have a good rest of your night, good morning, and all that other jazz. And hopefully I'll finish this in the next day or so. And I'm still don't know about the hair. We'll think about it a bit longer. Anyway, bye.